Demons behind her, divine ahead. Which way to turn to pass she treads? A divine God who dooms the world to fall, or slay the God and doom them all. Frida's fate is sealed, her feathers fall. The unjust God will wipe us all. Demoness curses divine God in vain. Again and again they endure this pain. The target was clear when her soul was sold. She must slay the divine so bold. Demons behind her, divine ahead. Which way to turn to path she treads? A divine God who dooms the world to fall, or slay the God and doom them all. Inside her rage as hot as the hells. Her only control is that love dwells. Her vengeance is great, yet the consequence is clear. If she slays the divine, the mortal realm will disappear. If she fails, it means death and decay. Darkness takes hold and stays that way. Demons behind her, divine ahead. Which way to turn to path she treads? A divine God who dooms the world to fall, or slay the God and doom them all. She must fight this demon within for the safety and love of her kin. For the ones she holds dear, she knows no fear. She is stronger with them by her side. Hell will fear, for she'll turn the tide. Behind her, divine ahead. Which way to turn to path she treads? Demoness knows love must win, no matter the cost of her sin.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Inner Sleuths live stream. Today, I am streaming from a new setup, so hopefully my audio sounds good. You guys will have to let me know how all of that is coming through. I think it should be pretty good though. I did a couple tests beforehand and I think it's all right. I'm in one of those crazy scorpion chairs. Huge shout out to Amsterdary. Thank you so much, brother, for hooking me up with this thing. Absolutely unbelievable. It's been an experience. I'm still trying to get my office space put back together. Watson says sounds really good. Oh, good. Perfect. Yeah, I had a little bit of trouble trying to figure out where to put my microphone at. German 3D Printing Nerd says, sounds good, my lord. We got a bunch of people in chat. Let's scroll up here. Let's see who we got. But yeah, this is a little bit different of a setup. I'm reclined at a 45-degree angle facing the ceiling with 3 monitors on a scorpion arm hanging above my head. It's pretty interesting, actually. But the audio was my main concern. I got the microphone mounted up over my shoulder, hanging down in front of my head at a weird angle. It kind of works, but I guess we'll see. I want to make sure that you guys are able to hear me loud and clear and everything's coming through good. But let's get a shout out to everybody in chat. So far we got German 3D Printing Nerd, we got Watson, Maven, Fadrill, Ange. We have, let's see, let's scroll down a little bit here. Salty Veteran, TK Seaton. Great to see you guys. House of Mining, great to see you. Says sounds great, good. Mojo, great to see you as well. Pickle. Pleasure as always. Blimpy, awesome to see you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I gotta say, this chair is quite relaxing. I got my feet up. I'm leaned back. This thing has a butt massager. It's awesome. I got 2 air vents, one on each side of me. This thing is just amazing. Beautiful, beautiful chair. Huge shout out to all of my channel members. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. You guys are the reason why I'm able to do these podcasts and videos and streams and stuff full time. You're the reason why I'm able to manage the community for Cheeky Buggers United and organize and orchestrate all of the fun stuff that we do. So thank you guys for your continued support. If you guys would like to support my work, click that join button down below and become a channel member. In fact, let's go ahead and give away 5 memberships live right now. I'm going to give away 5 memberships, just a small little thank you to everyone for your continued support. It's been a bumpy road. It's been a pretty bumpy road with PAX Day so far. It's been fun though, right? I'm all about the adventure in life and in games. Old School, Online, Black Pickle, Nightshade Leonard, Jess Calamity, BB, you guys all just received 5 you guys just received one of the 5 gifted memberships that went out. So if you guys choose to carry those over, your star will upgrade next to your name. You'll get various perks over on the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server, as well as some other perks here on the channel, like using custom emojis and priority chat and things like that. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. So today we're going to be talking about the future of PAX Day. And the future of PAX Day is looking very interesting, to say the least. Now, some people feel very strongly one way or another about it. I tend to fall somewhere in the middle. I'm always going to tell you guys the truth, no matter what that means. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I will give the benefit of the doubt where it's required, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I want people to be making the right choice if a game is for them or not. I don't want anyone to be getting into a game or into something that, they'll end up just regretting in the long run. So I have way too much integrity to be bought out. I'm here to tell you guys the truth, and that's why I do these live, right? I want you guys to have a voice. I want you to have the opportunity to talk about the topics at hand live with me, and your chat shows up on screen, and the devs tune into these from time to time, so they hear us. Together, we have a much louder voice. But today we're going to be talking about the future of PAX Day and what that may look like, our concerns. Now, I'm not going to lie. After their last announcement, it looks pretty bleak. There is an unfathomable amount of people who are not happy. There are so many people who are unhappy right now. And I want to talk about it. I want to hear your guys' opinions. I want to hear your thoughts on why you think they may be upset, if you're upset, why you're upset, and everything in between. Black Pickle says, "You're awesome, buddy. Thank you for the first out of 5 super chats towards our super chat goal." I appreciate you, Black Pickle. I think you're awesome. I think you guys are all awesome. Every single person who tunes into these, every single person who's in the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server, you guys are all awesome. You guys are here because you value integrity. You guys are here because you value enjoyment in video games, right? I always say, I could walk out of my front door tomorrow, get hit by a bus, struck by lightning. It's all over. I want to enjoy today with you guys, with good people, having good fun. That's why I'm a stickler for rules and regulations and paperwork and stuff, because I think that if people should act in good faith. If you're going to be acting in bad faith, you have no place around people who want to act in good faith, right? That's my motto. That's what I stand by. So I appreciate you, Pickle. I think you're awesome. That's a big pickle, Ya says. Mojo says, looks like a ghost town right now. It sure does, yeah. Everything looks like a ghost town right now. Let's see what the player numbers are. So there's 400 and some odd people playing PAX Day right now. The peak 24-hour the peak 24-hour player cap is 500 across all servers. It's not looking good. That was a pretty quick drop off from when we got the last patch. Now we have our events. Every Wednesday we have Hump Day event, a Hump Day Adventures. We go out on little adventures and explore. We have our weekend dungeon runs. There's all kinds of stuff that still goes on. But I think people are mostly using PAX Day as a platform rather than a game right now. And I think that's because of their last announcement. Now, we thought that their last announcement was going to be something talking about, I don't know, Lioness 2.0 or the future of, the game with some more content or something like that. But they announced $7 for 1 plot token, $11 for 2 plot tokens, and $19 for 4 plot tokens. They also let us know that if you're a founder and you paid $100, if you paid $100, you're getting a couple cosmetic things and 4 plot tokens. That's what you're getting. That's your thank you for the over a year of, well, I guess it'll be around a year of dedication. It'll be over a year eventually, but of dedication to the game. Your $100 investment gets you a $19 package for 4 temporary plot tokens. Those last 1 month. So essentially you get 4 plots for 1 month as a thank you for paying well over 5 times, let's just say it was $20 a plot. That's 5 times the cost of what you could have gotten it for. Or let's say it was $20 for 4 plots, So we have a lot to talk about today. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think about the packages. I want to talk about my opinions on the packages, as well as the compensation for us, the long-term supporters of the game, and what we think this means based on their track record for the future of the game. Maven, thank you for the 2nd out of 5 super chat towards our super chat goal. Maven says, I know at least 2 things. The future is bright with this community. So grateful for every friendship made here. Absolutely. Guys, if you want to be a part of something bigger than yourselves, if you want to come and have fun playing video games in a good faith environment, we host private servers for anything that we need to. We have all kinds of different servers for various different games. We play all kinds of stuff together over here at the Cheeky Buggers United. If you guys want to partake in that, the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server is free for anybody to come and hang out with us in. All you have to do is type !Discord in chat and you'll get a link over to the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server. It's a great place to hang out. Blimpy says, sounds like your motto should be stay out of lightning storms. Ya says, besides crafting and killing, what else is there to do? I can't see that alone sustaining interest. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. That's definitely something that's a problem. Pigro says, unfortunately, I think it's a wrap, to be honest. And a lot of people think that as well. I mean, I've been going through the. I'm here for the long haul. I just want to put that out in the forefront. I owe it to you guys to be here for the long haul. I'm gonna keep reporting on everything up until the very last bitter moment, if it comes to that. I'm gonna be here with you guys every single step of the way. And then you know what? I'm gonna be here after, still running a community. I don't really even consider myself a content creator. Sure, this is how I make a living. This is how people support me running my community. I think that if I was to somehow monetize Cheeky Buggers United, I could just go off of that because I like to consider myself a community builder. I'm not really even a content creator. Sure, a lot of people say, oh, you got a great voice for it. You have a great personality for it. You're very charismatic. Whatever. People say all kinds of stuff on how, they love my content, and I'm so grateful for that. But I'm a community builder first and foremost. I bring people together. I help people have fun. I give them infrastructure to have fun. I vet and verify so people can know that everyone else around them is acting in good faith. I take care of everyone's problems in the community. So I'm a community builder. I'm not really a content creator. Sure, I make content, but yeah, I mean, I'm here for the long haul, Pigro. So I'm gonna see it through. That's for sure. Carmack says, isn't all sandbox MMOs basically crafting and killing? To an extent. Yeah. I think it comes down to the execution on that. German 3D printing nerd says they can stick the tokens up where the sun don't shine. Flippy says it was just announced that Dual Universe are shutting down different genre, but the game reminds me of what they're trying to do with PAX Day, everything player driven. Yeah, but the difference is, Blimpy, is that when they went to shut down, they actually gave server code to everybody. They allow everybody to host their own private servers now. I'd love to do that for PAX Day. I think we could have a lot of fun as an RP platform, but as a pay-to-play, MMO, it's falling a little short, to say the least. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. But yeah, Dual Universe, they actually released all their server code. You could host your own private servers for Dual Universe now, which I think is really, really cool. House of Mining says it's a build sim at best. That makes you make a set of items that's not even free to go take on actual content. Agaris, how's it going, buddy? Welcome into the stream. He says, I'm pretty frustrated with the state of the game. I love the building. I'm interested in combat and exploration, but it feels so half-baked still. It's missing real depth and engagement. I agree 100%, and that is the main thing that I've heard from the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've interacted with. Frederick says, will the roadmap be complete at launch? It should. We don't know. I have doubts about that, and several things have been removed from the roadmap, like weather. Weather's nowhere to be seen, and it was removed. They did say, some issues with some things. So here's the main problem, Frederick. A lot of stuff has been being removed from the game. We don't have one-handed axes. We don't have Y-handers. We don't have weather. Weather got bumped. We don't have world bosses. We don't have enchanting. These are things that were once in the game that then got removed from the game. So there's a lot of things that have been taken out and not a whole lot that has been put back in. There's been a lot of polish done in the combat. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to anybody. I'm not here to blow smoke either, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. The combat has gotten a lot better. And maybe that's why they had to remove some of the stuff. Mojo, thank you for the 3rd out of 5th super chat towards our super chat goal. Mojo says, great group of people, have enjoyed every moment. Thanks, Void. No, thank you, Mojo. I really appreciate you being here. I'm just one person. I just put the infrastructure and stuff, and I have a vision on how things should be, sure, but I'm just one person, really. It takes all of you to make this space special. So thank you, Mojo. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate you, and thank you guys for all the support. But Frederick, the roadmap, whether it's complete or not, it comes down to, is the product worth the price? Now, I don't think that the prices are that bad. I pay $15 a month for World of Warcraft. But you get a hell of a lot with World of Warcraft. You get multiple different types of endgame loops, consisting of PvE and PvE independent loops, allowing you to play the game the way that you want to. You get access to multiple games for that price. You're getting Classic, you're getting TBC Classic, right? The Lich King Classic, Cataclysmic Classic, you're getting Mists of Pandaria Classic, you're getting Season of Discovery Classic, you're getting Retail. You get so many things for that one price. And each of those games have unfathomable amounts, and that's just one example, unfathomable amounts of different engagement, right? And I do realize that Tanja is still paused, and that's because we have a lot to go over today. But you have so much to do in World of Warcraft. Now, you could argue it's not your play style, and all that'd be fine and dandy, sure. Art style, play style, there's a lot of things that go into this, right? And really, truly, at the end of the day, only you can determine if it's worth your hard-earned money. But I think the problem with the subscription is people are not seeing the value there. Right now, you pay a one-time fee and you get into early access and you get to have your plots and you don't have to worry about paying a subscription, right? We paid $100. Some of us paid 500, 1,000, 2,000. Some people bought so many plots, they have like 30 plot tokens that they're going to have at launch. And, it's all an attempt to build what you're seeing right here. You got to keep in mind, the world is what we make it. We build the cities. We are the NPCs. Without us, the world is but a shell. We make vast cities. This city you're seeing right now, this is Bloodhaven. You guys are welcome to come out and check out this place. We're going to be hosting the Festival of Realms pretty soon as well, which is going to be our RP event. We're RPers at our core. And this city is on like 100 plots. This would cost $700 to maintain every single month. That's something you got to keep in mind. Cities like this, all you're going to see after launch, not all you're going to see, but a lot of what you're going to see after launch is one plot towers that are made as efficient as possible, because who wants to pay, hundreds of dollars a month to maintain their city? And here's one of the other kickers. This is one of the other big problems I have with it. World of Warcraft, if you stop paying your subscription, there's no big deal. You pick it up when you want to, and you pick up right where you left off. You don't lose anything. In PAX Day, if you were to stop paying your subscription, you're going to lose access to your plots. And your plots, so your city is going to be, if we stopped paying on this whole city would be boxed up into redeeming queues, split up into every single person's account. Like, if this was your plot right here, anything in that plot would go into your redeeming queue, and the whole city would vanish. So now if you want to stop playing the game for like a month or a couple weeks or something, it makes it really hard to come back to it, because your whole city and everything is destroyed. Now, sure, you still keep those items, as far as we know, and you could replace and rebuild, but that's a big hindrance. I think that's a big problem with what they're, going with this model. Now, they're saving grace. They do have a free-to-play model. You will not need to pay at all if you don't want to, but they say you get access to the entire core experience. Now, I want to hear from you guys on this, but what do you consider being the core experience of PAX Day? Because to me, getting access to the core experience of PAX Day means that you'd be able to go up to like max level on all your stuff if you want to. You're just not a landowner. The core experience is playing, leveling up, grinding, fighting, repairing your stuff. And as it is right now, let me pull up my HUD. In order to have access to any crafting stations at all, you're going to have to go up to the Petra Day, and even then there's only basic crafters there. Now, could they expand that to have more advanced crafting stations? Sure. But then they're decentivizing people from wanting to be being landowners and own plots, right? So they need to make money somehow, that's for sure. We know that. That's a given. They need to be able to make money. But right here is the only place that even remotely has any crafters that you'll have accessibility to, unless you're in a clan or working together. Now, you could argue, well, the game's made to be, played together. And you'd be right, but I don't think it gets you access to the core experience of the game. I mean, let's say you even somehow get into some better equipment. You won't even be able to repair it unless you can have access to a repair bench of high enough caliber. So that's just one of the issues that I have with it. Pickle says you even get access to Hearthstone card game too. Yeah, you get access to a lot with that one subscription. And Blimpy says we built this city. Song in my head now. Agaris says it seems like they're planning to try and rely solely on the shoulder of mega whales. Their pricing scheme is hideously out of whack with what should be sustainable for most people. Well, I don't think that it's that bad, really. I mean, so if you think about it, if you want access to be able to play the full game by yourself, like the core experience, you're looking at $7 a month. I don't think that that's that bad, really. I don't think $7 a month is terrible. Again, because I would pay $15 per month for like World of Warcraft or something. But it comes down to the juice being worth the squeeze. Does this game have enough content to keep enough people interested and keep them paying $7 a month? That's what it comes down to. Because $7 a month, hell, even $19 a month, that's not that bad, really. Like, I would pay $19 a month if this was the best game ever, and it had all kinds of content and world bosses and raids and dungeons with real bosses with mechanics and all sorts of things like that, right? I'd pay $20 a month because I love the idea. I love the aesthetic. I love the setting. It really comes down to the juice being worth the squeeze. They need to have enough content to justify it. They need to have enough recurring content. If we look back, I look at trends, I look at history, I look at, what has come before. And when we look back on how much content they've put out, the patch that we're on currently took them 7 months to make. 7 months of you paying $7, $11, or $19 every month. It's a lot of money to come out with the content patch that we have right now. Now, was that worth the wait for those prices? Or would you have stopped paying and would your city have been boxed up? That's the question. Now, I don't think that this last patch we got was all that big, all that expansive. I think that it was huge steps in the right direction, but we're still missing core features of the game. It needs to justify the cost, right? I think that's where the main kicker comes in. Does it justify that cost? I'm not convinced. Now, maybe some people are saying, maybe over the next 2 to 5 months, that's when they're looking to release. They're releasing 2025, and sometime in autumn, they're going 1.0. 2 to 5 months. Is that enough time to turn it around? I'm not convinced, based on their track record. It has taken them a very long time to get the content that we even currently have in-game, and even then, they've removed a lot of content along the way. So I'm not convinced. Blimpy says, had similar issues with Dual Universe, but you paid for hexes with in-game currency, not real money. Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about that, using in-game currency for things like that. Because, Star Citizen, you can buy ships with real money, or you can buy them in-game with in-game credits. Let me scroll up. I missed a little bit of chat here. I do my best to read all of your chats, but if I miss something, it's not intentional. I try to read all of them, really. I will always read super chats. I do my best to get to all channel members' messages, and I really try to read everyone's, but if I miss something, it's not intentional. Do we really want to keep it? Every time our stuff went into queue, it was only a third of what we had. Well, that's true. Do we really get to keep it? He's saying, I don't know. Haven says, no, that isn't bad. Talking about the cost. Yeah, I mean, the cost isn't bad, but it has to be justifiable, right? Chris, welcome in, Chris Wilson. Chris Wilson said the pricing scheme isn't bad for a game with content. Exactly, and that's what it comes down to, right? Which this game does not have currently. I'm so used to World of Warcraft where you have those revolving wheels of things to do, and it's exciting, and RuneScape's kind of blasting them right now. RuneScape's on a upward tick like crazy because they're on a whole campaign right now saying, World of War, they're low-key blasting World of Warcraft, saying that essentially you're on a revolving wheel and come over and play RuneScape where things matter and you're not going to be, having to get new gear and your gear becoming useless. And there's something to be said about that too. But there's something about WoW and other games that have models like this. The other thing that I really didn't like was the whole premium. Because if you want to get a discount on your plots at $19 a month to get 4 plot tokens, you could have 4 months of enjoyment for like $4 to $5 per plot. If you do it for plot token, if you do it buying the $19 package, you get to spend those tokens how you want. So you could choose to spend them one at a time on a single plot. So you could have one plot and play the full game for like $4 to $5 a month. That's not bad. But the problem is by trying to do that, they've decentivized you from wanting to do that because now you only get 1 month of premium. Whether you buy the $7, the $11, or the $19 package, you only get 1 month of premium. I think they should scrap premium altogether. Premium gives you plus 50% experience gains from all things, plus 50% get grace gained from logging in, and plus 50% grace gains from your gold transactions. I think they should just scrap that. I think they should scrap it, or each token you get comes with a month or something. They need to somehow alleviate that because I'm, for one, not going to play the game without premium. I'm not going to play the game without having an extra 50% XP on everything I do. I need that. I'm going to have that. You're not going to be competitive if you don't have it. You're not going to be competitive in PvE. You're not going to be competitive in PvP. You're not going to be able to keep up. Your crafters are going to fall behind, and you're just going to be pushed to the sidelines. So for me, it's a mandatory thing to have that premium. And they've decentivized you from getting that discount if you want to spend it all in one plot, which they've said you can do. Maven says they will need more content progression to keep the broader scope interested. 100%, yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and say like they need to appeal to the masses, but let me go over to their, hold on one second. Let me go over to their Steam. Their last post is just abysmal. They have mostly negative reviews now on Steam. And their last announcement, everything about monetization after early access. I've only seen this a couple times, but it has 0 thumbs up, which means that it has more thumbs down than it does thumbs up. And there's 348 discussions, 24 pages, and the vast majority of them, I've read through a lot of them, the vast majority of them are upset. Let's catch up on a little more chat here. Let me see. Agaris says, if that $7 a month was going for a significantly more fleshed out game, sure, exactly. And that's what it comes down to. That juice being worth the squeeze, right? But for what it is, that's what we're looking at, how RP would need X amount of space to be sustained. No good. German 30 Printing Nerd says there is still so much missing. 100%. Walter. Great to see you, Walter. Walter says, but we don't know what's being worked on at the same time. Just not fully ready to release yet. Well, I mean, that's the thing. They've told us some of the stuff that they're working on. Their transparency is not the greatest, so I'll give you that, Walter. You know, we could be hopeful that when it comes out, they wow us and it has all kinds of stuff, in which case we'll talk about it. I'll definitely be here. I'm not here to just bash on them. I'm just calling things as they are, right? I'm not here to just bash anything, but... And that may happen, Walter. We don't know. I guess time will tell. German 30 Printing Nerd says mounts and fishing carts. God Silent Grace, how's it going, buddy? Welcome into the stream. I'm going to catch up on some chat here. God Silent Grace says, first time I've seen Pack Stay in a long time. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good, man. It's good to see you. Brian says the pricing isn't terrible. If there was solid content. Yeah. And that's what I've heard. That's the resounding answer that I've heard from most people. The building is the most solid content, but that isn't good enough to be a release candidate, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Brian. The combat loot guild features are far from ready. Yep, absolutely. I've talked about that stuff so much. Blimpy says, in my honest opinion, there are significant changes still needed that will be very hard to do once it's past the final wipe. That's actually a good point, too. Got to keep in mind, this is their final wipe before launch, right? Diesel, great to see you. Worry I'm late, but I guess who's here, buddy? Great to see you, Diesel. Oh, you said sorry you're late, but guess who's here, buddy? Great to see you, man. Watson says, I think their pricing is fair for a fully complete game, but as you have said, there is so much that they haven't given us. I want to know, too, what features are core? We've talked about this a lot on the channel, too, but what features are core to MMOs and core to what makes a game that we're still missing? I have unpaused Tangia. If you guys would like to interact with Tangia, you can type !Tangia in chat now. Yeah, their lack of communication has been the worst part, to be honest. Glacian says, $7 is a cup of coffee these days. I can get far more enjoyment in a month of PAX Day. And that's what it's going to come down to, Glacian. And I'm not here to blast anyone or convince anyone that it's not worth it. It's going to come down to the individual. But I'm just going based on from what I've heard from the hundreds of people I've interacted with over the months, is that the game is missing so much. I mean, and a lot of people are coming from different backgrounds too, so you have to keep that in mind. Like, I run a very big clan of over 270 individuals. Without having proper loot mechanics and proper permission mechanics and things like that built into the game, it makes it very hard to do anything, really. Everything has to be micromanaged. It makes a lot of work. So we're missing those core features of things like that. But I agree, $7 is not, I mean, hell, like I said, even $20 is not a crazy amount, right? I mean, I think that that's reasonable if the game, I mean, like, we go to dungeons, we've ran 25 dungeons. And I know they say they're working on it, but 25 dungeons or more in the past couple weeks. And we've seen 5 bosses total, and we saw 3 in the last dungeon run we just did. We saw 3. So before the last dungeon run, if you omit that one, the past 24 dungeon runs, multiple clears, we've seen 2 bosses. And those bosses aren't even particularly interesting. So for a lot of people, it's a hard sell of any amount of money, right? And then when you consider that you paid $100 to get a $19 package to help them test their game, it's a little skewed for a lot of people. But I hear where you're coming from, Glacian. I don't think $7 is a crazy amount. Absolutely, I agree. Watson says more like cash grab than anything else. I don't know. I mean, was it actually? It's hard to say. Some things you can tell are clearly a cash grab. Others, it can look like one in disguise, but it's really hard to tell at times. Blippy says, I actually like the WoW expansion model. New levels, new story, new environment, and gear every 2 to 3 years is fun, in my honest opinion. Well, and you got to also keep in mind, they also do seasonal patches. They do big patches which add in new raids, new dungeons, new bosses, new story along the way during those expansions to justify you giving that subscription. Is that going to happen over here? I don't know. You're paying it just to be able to maintain your property. And again, if you put it down, because there's been a lot of times over the past year of early access where, you run out of things to do. You go, like right now we're playing Dune a lot. We're playing a lot of Dune. We have a private server for Dune. We got private servers for all kinds of stuff. And we're having fun just enjoying each other's company in the community and building up the community more and more every day, playing other stuff. And we'd have to keep paying in order to keep our plots in our city if we wanted to. And you can't just pick it up and put it down. Now, if there was some way to like copy paste your base, maybe that would alleviate it a little bit to make it a little easier to pick up and put down whenever you wanted. But they're not going to do that because it's going to disincentivize you from paying that fee. Havoc says, hell yeah, scrap premium. I think a lot of people have been saying that, Havoc. A lot of people are over the whole premium thing. Let me scroll down here. I got a lot of chat to catch up on. Blimpy says at least separate it from the token purchases. I agree. At very least separate it. I'd like to see it scrapped altogether. Maven says there are some folks who will not mind the natural progression as well too, and that would be okay. You mean like without the 50% bonus? I mean, yeah, some people who just like some one-off person who wants to hide off in the woods or whatever, or be part of a small group. Maybe they don't care about, trying to get the PvP exclusive resources. But you got to keep in mind that with the exclusive resources coming to PvP 2.0. I think that it's it's going to be a big problem because it's going to really reward you. It's going to really, really reward you. Cat Died says, hey Void, just caught up on your video. You sound much better at 1x speed. Oh, you had it playing 2x or something in the background? Amber, thank you for the 4th out of 5th super chat towards our super chat goal. Amber says, I can't figure out how to make this more than $2. There should be a way where you can do super chat and then pick the amount. I see I can do like slider 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 400, all the way up to 500 you can go, but I think it's different on mobile maybe. Havoc says, a dev stated that Premium doesn't actually give you plus 50% XP. Instead, Premium gives you the current rate of XP, but the no sub players have their XP reduced by 33%, making Premium 50% more than subless. Wait a second, what? The devs said that it doesn't actually give you an extra 50% XP. Oh, so people without a sub aren't getting 50% bonus. The people without a sub are actually having their XP reduced further? That changes things so much. Now it's even more substantial because now you're going to have 33%, 1/3 higher grind than how it currently is. That's really going to be pushing the envelope of what is entertaining for a lot of people. That's crazy. I did not know that, Havoc. Can you send me screenshots of their chat or something about that? That's wild. That makes it worse in my opinion. Hey, Maven, thank you for the 5th out of 5 super chats towards our super chat goal. Maven says, here you go, Amber, I got you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. House of Mining says, if they would just come out and say, we made some bad picks in making the game, and we are now asking for the community support to recover, the fans that want this to work would be willing. They don't have transparency, though, House of Mining. I think that's one of the biggest problems. They really don't have transparency at all. They claim to want transparency, they claim to have transparency, but they really, truly don't. They keep us in the dark. I mean, hell, the last patch that we just got, Path of the Adventurer, it was like 6-7 months cooking, and they completely changed the combat. We were giving F8 reports on it all along the way. We were giving F8 reports about the combat and problems with it and all sorts of issues and stuff, just for them all to fall on deaf ears because they had no intention of changing any of that stuff. The entire system was getting overhauled from the ground up. We didn't know that. We were wasting our time putting in F8 reports for a system that they failed to tell us was going to get gutted and completely replaced from the ground up. So of course it took so long for Mez Fireball to get fixed. They intended on fixing Mez Fireball and things like that from the very beginning, but the problem is they didn't tell us that. So there we are thinking they just don't know about it, and we're putting in all these F8s just for nothing to happen because, well, they were going to replace the whole system in 7 months anyways. That's where the frustration comes from. That's where some of the biggest frustrations come from. The lack of communication has been abysmal. But I agree, House of Mining, if they would just be transparent with us, there's our archery range for the Festival of Realms. If they would just be transparent with us, people would be a lot more willing to support the project, I think, to be honest. Because you got to give it to it. It gives you some type of feels, right? It's like when I played Classic WoW for the first time, or Vanilla. It gives you some type of feels. There's so much potential, and it hurts to see it fall to the sidelines. I mean, this last patch gave us... How much entertainment did we get out of it? I think the numbers fell off about after a month. And now we're down to the 400s again. Now we're back down to pre-patch numbers. And that patch took 6-7 months to come out. I think that's the main problem there. That's where... Yes. Is $7 a good price? Absolutely. Is it a good price for what you get? Probably not for a lot of people. I think that's the main issue. Maven says, Void, let's verify that. Havoc says, ding, 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 no sub gets penalized. No sub gets penalized. I'll get you a screenshot. Sounds good, Havoc. Thank you. Let's see. I think I have it over here on Discord. Let me check really quick. Coloco says, current XP is the same as premium will be. All non-members will not... Oh, also, non-members will not be at minus 50%, but they will be at minus 33% compared to premium. So doesn't that mean that premium is really getting you a 33% increase, not a 50%? How are they getting to 50%? Non-members will have a minus 33% XP modifier, and premium members will be at what we are currently at right now. Thank you, Havoc, for sending that my way. I appreciate you. But yeah, so I mean, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow. Everything 33% harder. That's going to be a pretty hard sell. 33% harder grind. And keep in mind, they've made everything in the game cost more as well. I mean, the build pieces to put down like one floor panel is like a stack and a half of beams and a stack and a half of planks. Like it's insane the amount of items you're going to have to procure. Now I know we didn't have to do that this time because we had our redeeming queue with a lot of our stuff in it, but we didn't get all of it back. So we're not going to get any of it back after 1.0 release, which I think is a good thing, but you got to keep that in mind as well. Everything being 33% harder is really going to draw out the process, sure, but is grinding for the sake of grinding really the direction it should be going? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced, right? I want to hear from you guys, though, because I've talked with hundreds of people in the community now, in our community and outside of our community and other communities. I've talked to a lot of people here on stream as well. I want to hear from all of you on how your feelings are on that premium. I think at very least, they should separate premium from the plot tokens. Hell, I'd pay $5 just to have premium alone, not even have plots. I think that'd be fair for someone. Or if you're a landowner, you get a discount. As long as you have an active plot, give you a 50% reduction. Give you a 50% reduction on the cost of premium, but make it a separate charge. I'd be okay with that too. But I think it being tied to the plots in the way that it is, it's rewarding you for not wanting to get that discount on the $19 for 4 plot tokens because you only get 1 month of premium. That's one of my biggest gripes. That and the lack of content there justifying the cost anyways. Havoc, thanks for sending that over. I appreciate you. Athena says, I still want to know if I can pay for the sub through Steam Wallet. I don't know. I don't actually know. I would probably say no at first. Probably a no at first. Pete, how's it going? No sub for me and no play game for me. Also no play game for me. A lot of people in that same boat, Pete. I mean, there's only like 400 people even playing the game anymore right now. So it's pretty low. So I completely understand where you're coming from, Pete. But Pete, it's great to hear from you. It's great to see you. I mean, people still tune into these because they're still interested. They're still trying to see how the fallout's going to happen or what's going on with the game, right? So people still have their eye on it for a reason. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. 1 second here. I got to get this jacket off. Uno momento. All right, there we go. We are going to be at the Bristol Renaissance Fair on the 30th. For anybody who wants to come, we're doing a meet and greet. Going to meet up with some members, some community members, as well as YouTube members. So you guys are welcome to come out there. Bristol Renaissance Fair. It's going to be a lot of fun. Watson says, maybe it'll be tied to the grace system where you can have an XP modifier up to 50%. I don't know. They haven't said anything about that, though. I can only go based on what we know and what they say. Cat Died says everyone hates the current XP curve. Yeah, they absolutely do. Now imagine it 33% harder. Maven says, I'm not saying Havoc is wrong either. I speak from the perspective of seeing devs have two statements and contradicting each other. I mean, yeah, for sure. But he sent me a screenshot and Coloco did confirm that. Without a sub, everything will be 33% more difficult. Carmack says 50% increase is 1/3 more than... Oh, I see what you're saying. It's 50... Okay, I got you now. It's 1/3 more than a non-sub. Yeah, so 33% harder to do everything for people who don't have a sub. That's a hard pill to swallow. And Maven, I did confirm they sent the screenshot. Maven says, I think they're trying to get folk to be more specialized with a tougher grind. Maybe, but I feel like that's not really the way to go about doing it. I think having a sliding XP modifier, whereas the more XP you gain in a profession over a certain point, they could then put a modifier that makes the XP gained in other professions more difficult. I did that on a private Minecraft server with a mod at one point for different professions and things on there. And that worked really well. People enjoyed that because it soft capped you into what you could go into without just having a thing like World of Warcraft where it's like you get this many number of professions, you know? Blimpy says the grind is already a lot for a solo player. Absolutely, and I think that the game's not really made to be a solo player game, so there is that. But some people are definitely going to play it solo. I think a lot of people are probably going to play it solo, to be honest. I think they've proven that you can do it solo. It's just going to become a whole hell of a lot harder. Cat Died says, grinding for the sake of grinding is no bueno. I agree 100%. All you need to do is buy the very end game gear for gold. There will be tons of it in the market. Why be the one making the gear? Well, not only that, you won't be able to repair it, though. You won't be able to repair your gear because you won't have access to a bench in order to repair it unless you have a plot. If you don't have a plot, you're not going to have access to a repair bench. Unless you're, again, borrowing someone else's plot or something like that. That would work. But now you're talking about not being solo. So if you have that good gear, you're not going to be able to fix it. You're going to have to take it to someone else, put it in a trade window, if they even have trade windows, or give it to them and trust that they're not just going to steal your gear and that they're going to repair it and give it back to you for a certain amount of cost, you know? I think that is not going to end up very well. Now, if we could open up a trade window or have some type of contracts or something like our bounty board on our Discord for that would be different. Blimpy says, yeah, Moon, they definitely want people to work as a group and specialize. I guess that is cool. I just can't help wanting to max everything. For sure. No, and I get that. Definitely. Cat Dides goes on to say, all you need to do... Oh, you already read that one about buying the gear. Yeah, but you're not going to be able to fix it. I'm trying to catch up on some chat here. House of Mining says, needs to be included account sub. Needs to be included account sub. Get what you buy into 1, 2, 3, or 4 plot model, just saying. Oh, you're talking about for the premium? Yeah, I think that if you're buying 4 tokens, you should get 4 months of premium. Maybe it should go based on as long as you have an... You know what it should do? They should do it like this. As long as you have an active plot, you get premium. As long as you have an active plot, you get premium. Because that way you could purchase the $19 package, get 4 tokens, and use 1 token at a time and have 4 months of plots and 4 months of tokens. Now, sure, you could say some people will abuse that and they'll just want it for the premium. They don't really care about the plot, so they'll just make sure to have 1 plot active. Sure. I don't see a problem with it, though, because the premium should not run out before your plot tokens run out, in my opinion. Cat Died says, downside of working in a group is you get one guy leveled to 40 in armor smithing and then they quit the game because they finished leveling. There's more content to keep them playing because there's no more content to keep them playing. That's a very big concern as well. Absolutely, 100%. And it's going to become divisive too, because if you think about it, people are going to be more incentivized. People are going to be more incentivized to only want to funnel stuff to the people who are willing to keep a subscription going. So they have the premium, right? Why would I want to pump 33% more materials into a blacksmith to get him up to par when I don't have to? I think that it's just the wrong move all around. Everything after 40 is a chore to grind. Well, 40 doesn't even really... We only go up to 40. Tim, how's it going, Tim? I don't mind a long grind, but there has to be content to support it 100%. And that's why I always use Classic WoW as like an example. You know, Classic WoW was a huge, huge grind. But there was always new stuff to do along the way. We have to have things that keep us interested. We need world bosses. We need engaging bosses in dungeons and raids and all of that stuff to keep people interested. Pete says, I paid $100 for this game. This seems like a kick in the teeth. Well, Pete, especially when you consider that your $100 is going to get you a $19 worth of plot tokens on the other end. Sure, you could argue and say you got unlimited free plots up to your cap during early access, and that's what you were paying for. But we're really, if any, companies used to pay people to test their games. Now we pay them to let us test their games. We're actually doing them a favor by being here, if you think about it. They're not doing us a favor by letting us be a part of the early access testing. We're helping them to refine their game. You could argue, sure, they give you little tips of the hat by putting us in the lore, like Blood Brothers is now in official lore. We are in official lore of PAX Day. That's pretty cool. I want to be able to say that this game is the best game ever. I really want to. I'm there for it. But it needs that content. We need that transparency. We need that communication. I'd love to get an interview with a dev. I don't see it happening though, guys. But if I could ever get an interview with a dev, maybe we could sit down with Ostrich and just have a chat, just back and forth, just a non-scripted chat that's not under NDA and nothing's off the table, but they don't have to answer anything if they don't want to, obviously. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and I think that'd be really great, and it would build some goodwill back up with the community. But Pete, a lot of people in that same position, man. Maven says, oh yes, but I mean, we should make sure Coloco is correct. I've got documented instances where he's wrong. Yeah, I know. I mean, I can only go based on the information we have, though, you know? So if one dev comes forward and says something is the way it is, and I have nothing else to refute it, then that is what it is. That's what I have to go based off of. You know, they've said incorrect things in their main official posts on their website as well. Cat Died says, I paid $300 for the game, so yeah, it does feel like a kick in the teeth, especially since I can't transfer or trade those tokens 100%. And they have said that you'll be able to buy tokens for other people potentially in the future. Which furthermore seems like a kick in the teeth because they want you to use all those individual plots and tokens and stuff and premium on all your other alts. They're like decentivizing, and they're making sure to make it a point that all those tokens are going to be consumed because you only have a year to use them too. Whenever you purchase a token, you only have a year to use it. So if you have 15 accounts, you only have a year to make sure that you use all those plots and you can't transfer them. I don't know, man. It's a hard sell. Carmack says, Pete, they always planned there to be a sub. Well, yeah, they always did plan there to be a sub, but I think he's saying it's a kick in the teeth because of the lack of content to go along with that sub, right? I think we figured the game would be a lot further along by now. We're over a year. I mean, they've been developing for, you know, several years, many years, but we're a year into early access and over that if you consider the alpha. I think that's what he's talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. Blimpy says, I've been solo in the verse. Most of the grind has only really been active in verse 1, waiting for release now. A lot of people are. Havoc says, I do hope Coloco is wrong. I've been seeing this quoted dozens of times in the Discord and no dev has disputed it. I'm inclined to believe what they say unless I have evidence to say otherwise. So if a dev says something, I'm taking that as at face value as what it is. Frederick says, will they implement a in-game store for cosmetic, pets, building styles like other MMOs? I don't know. I went back and read some of their really early posts and they said that those things are not off the table, but that was back when they didn't have a monetization model. I don't know. Because if they do, now you're starting to double, triple dip on these different subscription fees and microtransactions and all that stuff's a no-no for me. Like with WoW, $15, you get access to everything, but there's not like microtransactions and stuff. They do have a couple, but it's not like a reoccurring thing. Some games, that's how they monetize. And I get that. I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. I much rather would pay one fee and have access to everything. So we don't actually know yet, Frederick, if they're going to have other microtransactions or not. Carmack says, come on, why would you funnel anyone at all? In most cases, it's just a scam. No, I mean, are you talking about funneling people inside your clan? That's what I'm talking about. I was talking about funneling people resources in your clan to help level them up. That's what I was talking about. I don't think that's a scam. And we have like Black Pickles, our blacksmith, for the most part, does like all our armor and weapons and stuff like that for the vast majority of that stuff. And he's rock solid. So, I mean, you know, he would have to have a sub in order for us to want to funnel him materials because otherwise he's going to be getting 33% less experience, thus meaning it's going to take 33% more materials, that's a big deal. Athena says Ghost Cities will be replaced with barren heartlands. The game will become vacant. Either that or you're going to see a lot of one plot towers. Blimpy says it kind of assured it would be Coloco's statement, so I believe it. Salty says, I paid $600 for the game and no more till they give me back RP servers, winky face. I agree with that. I really hope that they change their mind and we get an RP shard at launch. That's very important to us. I mean, hell, we did a whole petition for it and everything to show our solidarity. Now, whether it actually made an impact or not, I don't know, but I think showing our solidarity and things like that is very important. Athena says Mainframe really needs to propose full release or postpone full release until they're truly ready. I think that's the problem though, Athena. I think they're kind of they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, if you want my honest opinion. I think that the money's drying up. I think that, you know, developing a game and having a team the size that they have a big team, having a team the size that they do, that's a lot of salaries. That's a lot of commissioned work. That's a lot of money that goes out. Now, sure, they had like, what, $150 million or something crazy like that. So they had quite a bit of money. But I think the problem is they're stuck between a rock and a hard place now. I think that they are trying to recoup a little bit of their costs. They're trying to rush into 1.0 because they need to have some form of income to pay for servers and things like that. And I think that's why we're having some of the issues we are on the servers. The servers have been very, very laggy, very jittery, even with very low player counts. And I think that's because they're using Amazon web servers and it's spooling up and spooling down servers to accommodate. So I think during low peak times, I think they're using weaker hardware to save on money, if I had to guess. Fadrill says, one of my biggest wishes for the game is the devs that develop heart and passion for the game. So many great indie games that have a small dev team have incredible passion and for their game, and it shows. That's it, Fadrill. That's it at the end of the day. That's the core of what makes a good game, is having that passion. You know, it's the same with community building. It's the same with anything, really. You know, I read a book, The Arc of a Scythe, and there's an interesting part where they give you a glimpse into the future. Now, this takes place in a somewhat utopian/dystopian future where humanity has overcome all hardships. There's no more starvation. There's no more death or famine. We've overcome everything. There's a thunderhead. It's the all-seeing AI that runs the world, and it tells you where to plant your crops and how much to water them and when to fertilize and where to build your bridges and when a storm is coming, so you know when to, like, everything. It knows it's all things on Earth are accounted for. And they go to a museum at one point. I'm not really giving spoilers. I'm just talking about something because it's relevant here. It's talking about passion. In a world where there is no death, there is no suffering, there is no struggle, there is no human struggle to it, people don't have passion anymore. And once you lose your passion, everything becomes so uninspired. In this museum of pre-mortality and post-mortality, all of the art and all of the music was so inspired when people had a reason to leave their mark on the world. They had a reason to make things that they were proud of. You know, it's why I give 110% and more of myself every single day to my community. Because I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about the people that are there. You need to have that passion. Once you lose that passion, everything else crumbles around it. So I agree with you, Fadrill. I think that passion is of the utmost importance. But everything after the mortality was just uninspired music. The art was bland. No one had anything to live for anymore because they had nothing to die for. If that makes sense. Brian says, do you trust Mainframe to make a better game in a year? If they even do delay the release, how much progress has been made in the past year? That's my point. I'm looking back based on what they have already given us, right? I'm looking back based on what updates they have given us in the time frames that they have given them to us. And I can only go based on what we know, right? So we can all say, well, I'm hopeful that they've been sandbagging. I'm hopeful this. I think they're not communicating this to us. That all may be true. And I'm hopeful that it is. I'm hope that I'm wrong. And I hope that it comes out and it's the best game ever. I truly want this game to succeed and be something special. I think that it's very important for a lot of us who have put so much time and effort. We've put so much passion into this game. I mean, hell, go look at our wiki.cheekybugger.net, and just look at the Pax Day section. We have 9 deities with their own backstories. We have rituals and all sorts of lore and RP stories that we've told. We have so much passion for this game and for this world. But that passion does not end with this game. Our passion lives on. Whether this game succeeds or not, our passion will live on. I promise you that. Cat Died says, they can see their current player counts when they induce subscription model. With the amount of money will it be the amount of money they need to stay afloat? Surely have some big investors. This is my hope. The development continues. Oh, you hope that the development continues? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it's enough. If the people who are there, I don't know if it's enough to keep it afloat. I mean, because you could argue those 500 people who are still playing, are they playing because it's free right now? Are they going to continue to play after it's not free anymore? I don't know. I mean, it still will. They still will still have a free model, but they're not going to have, everything's going to be so much harder, like we were just talking about. So I don't know if they continue or not. Let me catch up on some more chat. I haven't gotten to that part yet. Spoilers. I mean, if you want to consider it a spoiler, sure. I'm a stickler for spoilers, but it really was the best example I could give at the time to really talk about passion and people needing to leave their mark. You know, people need to have a reason to fight for something. It comes down to your soldiers as well who are trying to keep people safe. They need to believe in something that they're fighting for. Maven says, Ferdrilla is right. We've gotten repeated shuffling, devs stating again and again they don't have the time. To elaborate or to show us. No routine dev interviews, no behind the scenes. Yeah, exactly. We have a few devs reaching out to do what they can. I know, that's why I'd really like to get an interview with someone who knows some things that I could just sit down and just chat with them about it. I've really been pushing for that. I'm doing my best. I think that getting a no-holds-barred interview where I can just, I'm not going to be a jerk about it, right? I mean, I get it. They don't have to answer something if they don't want to. I can't force them to answer. If they really can't talk about it because it's NDA'd, then I get it. But it would be so refreshing to have an interview with them. I think it would build up so much goodwill, them just taking the time to come and sit down with us. And I mean, look, we touched 50 viewers during this stream here. So, I mean, that's a lot of people who are still playing the game, who are tuning in to keep up on this stuff. I think it would build so much goodwill. Because I can't be bought and paid for. You guys know that I'm going to tell you the truth, right? You guys know that I'm here to be honest with you and to give our honest opinions and to give you guys a platform to be able to chat in good faith about these topics as well. I think it could be good both ways. But I agree. I mean, they're not very transparent, so I don't know if it'll ever happen. They definitely need to get some passion in there. The Cat Died says, I don't understand why they would sandbag us. The game is already in early access. I don't know. I think they may be perfectionists, because remember when they were talking about giving us being able to sit in chairs and then that got bumped? It got bumped because they said they just didn't like it. It just wasn't quite right. So I think they may be perfectionists. Cat Died says Altari doesn't want to share his opinion on anything. I roll. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really speak to that. I don't know the guy other than what I've seen. I don't know. I'm here to tell you guys the truth, though. I'm always going to give you my honest opinion, and I want to hear your honest opinions. That's what this platform's all about. I mean, we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes about this at this point now. I think the main takeaway is the subscription cost is not egregious if there's enough game there to justify it. That's what it's going to come down to. And it's going to come down to the individual on that. Now, how much of a world do people want to be a part of and pay that subscription for in a world that's going to be empty and, you know, improperly moderated and no content updates, few and far between? I don't know. Cat Died says bought and paid, wink, wink. Reality Andy, great to see him. And he says, do you think recreating the world twice has taken too much dev time? I don't know. I don't know if it has, because it's like procedurally generated, I think. I think they're procedurally generating this. I don't really think it took too much time, to be honest. And I don't know why they keep rebuilding the world. The world was fine the first time around. Could you argue this one's better? Sure. Yeah. I mean, the valleys, the roads and everything are a little bit better, but like this one still has problems. The roads still kink in weird areas and stuff, right? There's still problems with the world. It's not going to be perfect after their next iteration. And I don't know how they alleviate that. I think it's just going to have to be what it's going to be, because they're not going to do wipes anymore, right? So what happens with I still see floating stuff along the roads and roads that are all kinked weirdly and stuff like that. They have said it's procedural generation, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that that's taking up too much of their time then, right? Watson says, is Void secretly a version of River Song? I don't know what that is. I don't get the reference there. Salty, thank you for being a member for 10 months of the Junior Sleuths. I really appreciate you. Salty uses his 10-month super chat to say Pax Day Latin for peace of God, but it looks more like pay the God. Money subscription to craft flowers and starve boars. I appreciate you, Salty. Thank you for being on this journey with us. through this over this past, well, over a year now at this point. I appreciate your continued support, man. And everybody. Huge shout out to all my channel members. You guys are amazing. Cat Died says, which is why I don't understand why they would develop that tech if the game won't change after release. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of the stuff just doesn't make sense. I mean, look how long it took us to get a compass. And I've seen single developers who put a compass into a game. It's weird. It's very strange. I don't know. And that's why I think sitting down with them and getting a little more insight behind the curtain could be very useful. Could build a lot of goodwill. Watson says Doctor Who character. She is known for saying spoilers. Oh, no, I'm a stickler for spoilers. That little saying or that little analogy though was just too good to not use there. It really speaks to passion. Maven says also they seemingly have a huge issue with stating they want feedback, then allowing people to be repeatedly attacked on their own Discord for bringing up feedback time and time again. That is a big issue. It's one of the reasons why I don't go over to the official PAX Day Discord all that much. There is a very large number of trolls there, and for the most part, you can't even blame them because there's a lot of salty people over there. A lot of people who feel so burnt by the project but are so stubborn and ingrained in their support of it that they don't want to say or admit anything bad about the project. So whenever they see a criticism come up, like some of the things that I say, they'll label me as a doomsayer. There are some people who are so ingrained in their fundamental belief in PAX Day that it can do no wrong. And I think that that's a problem because if you can't criticize something, it can't grow. Havoc says the devs vanish anytime monetization is brought up, and people have noticed it and take advantage of it. Yeah, the devs really, I mean, the community moderators don't really do a very good job of keeping that place inviting to everybody. I think that there have been a lot of trolls who will attack you simply for the sake of attacking you over there. Havoc says, like myself, I take advantage of it. I like when people have good faith conversations. We can have, disagreements and different points of view on things and still have a good faith conversation about it. But that's the main takeaway, guys. $6.99 for one plot with 1 month. $10.99 for 2 plot tokens with 1 month of premium. Or $18.99 for 4 plot tokens with 1 month of premium. Mainframe, if you're watching this, I really think that you need to reconsider the whole premium thing. Sit down and talk with me. Let's have a chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. We can get a ton of people in stream talking live and listening to a good faith conversation just between a dev or a couple devs, myself. Maybe we can even get some other people in on it. I just want to sit down and chat with you guys because I'm concerned for the future of PAX Day. PAX Day is the biggest part of my channel, right? And while I'm not here for the money, your guys' support of my channel is what makes all the wheels keep spinning, right? I want to get answers for you guys. I want to get to the bottom of things, and I want to help them, give them a platform to be able to explain themselves a little more as well. Do they have to explain themselves? No, they don't have to. They don't have to justify anything to us. Honestly, we knew what we were signing up for. We gave them our money willingly, and that's that. They could just wash their hands of it and continue down their path. Sure, but they're going to lose a lot of good faith if they do that. So I really hope that we can sit down at some point and have a chat with some of the mainframe devs. Cat Died says, bottom line is, if they don't hear feedback or choose to ignore it, they need to talk to us. They should walk back some of their egregious monetization, like expiration and no transfer on release. Yeah, I think that they should let us transfer our tokens so that people can funnel all of their extra plots down into all the tokens down into one character. I think they need to give us multiple months of premium because I'm not playing the game without premium. They also need to update the roadmap. I think that would be good as well. I'd agree. Havoc says, I think they can make premium better if they swap out the 50% XP junk with something else that's more useful forever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think simply they have a couple options. Separate it from the plot tokens. They could just do away with it altogether. They could change it. There's a lot of things that they could do, right? But what do you guys think about the monetization model of PAX Day? What do you guys think about the future of PAX Day going forward? Do you think it's going to make it? Do you think it's not going to make it? We just got some really interesting news about Hightail. Hytale is a game that I've been really interested in for a very long time. I know blocky games like Minecraft style is not for everyone, but it's being repurchased or attempting to be repurchased by Simon, one of the original owners and creators of Hytale, after it just got announced that it was shutting down. So you can see where passion can take people. Simon said that he's willing to put up his own money to repurchase the IP, to go back to the old engine and just get something into the fans' hands. You can see that he has passion. I'd like to see the passion of Mainframe. I'd like to see them really put it in. I mean, V-Rising even, you can see their updates and their posts daily and weekly about the stuff that they're doing, and you just feel like you're part of a family. You feel welcomed and you feel happy, and it makes you smile when you read their stuff. It makes you excited for the future. It makes you happy, and that's what playing video games should be about, and that's what Cheeky Buggers United is all about, is making people happy. And I'd like to feel that again with Mainframe, and I know you all would as well. We're all rooting for you, Mainframe. Ostrich and all the other devs, Coloca, we're rooting for you. We really are. I'm doing my best as a content creator and as a community builder to keep people entertained, to give them events to go to give them things to do, but we need that good faith from you guys as well. Send me a message, void_lock on Discord, if you guys have anything you want to say. Developers as well. You guys can always send me a message. I'll have to verify who you are, make sure that you're actually a dev, but I think it could go a long way, honestly. There's so much potential, and I hate seeing potential fall to the wayside. Reality says, I really hope there's a lot of content that they've been holding out on. I know, yeah, and that's the hope, right? That's the hope. That's what people keep saying, but based on their previous actions, I'm not convinced. The cat died. I already read that one about the feedback. Havoc says 50% more bag space would be an excellent perk for builders, for example. That'd be interesting, yeah. Cat died says they also need to do away with the XP boost and give clans clan-owned plots so that the main guild buildings aren't dependent on subscriptions, can introduce gold tax to maintain. It would be interesting. I think their main problem is that our builds take up resources in-game. Our builds are taking up RAM and stuff like that. Salty, thank you for the super chat. Says, I don't mind paying for PAX Day, but if I'm forking over real gold, I better get more than rock smashing and deer chasing. Give me dungeons, danger, and drama, not early access chores. Hashtag RP servers. I agree. And I think everyone's in the same boat. I think a lot of people are there where they're like, hey, if there was just unfathomably awesome content to do, I would pay a lot for a game like this. It's missing that mark, though, and I think that's really what it comes down to. John, how's it going? Welcome into the stream, John. Athena says, paying for plots makes sense, but premium is a huge negative. I agree, Athena. I agree 100%. I think they should either do away with the premium or change it entirely or separate it. Because I'm not playing the game without that extra 50% XP, that's for sure. Blimpy says, I'll subscribe at launch, but I fear the population will drop off after 2 to 3 months. I hope not. But, well, if you look at the trend, look at the history, right? It has fallen off within a month after each big update, and those updates took 6 to 7 months of having 80 devs. Now they fired 30% of those devs. They're down to like 60 devs or something like that. So everything's going to take even longer, and they even said that themselves. So if you look at the track record, 6 to 7 months to get this patch that we have now, again, it's not looking too good, right? But I have no problem paying for plots and subscriptions and premium and things like that. Now, hopefully don't monetize this stuff too much. I don't like microtransactions. I think buying cosmetics is really, really bad. But then think about it like this also. We also lost access to all of our clothing. We can't even wear RP clothing anymore because you have to level up your light armor skill just to wear the RP clothing. The RP community has been kicked, and I know not everyone here is RPers, but the RP community has been kicked a lot. We lost our servers. They told people to go and join. Well, first they told people go join the RP server. It's not any different. Don't worry about RPing. It's not enforced, which is a huge kick to us. And then they got rid of our servers. Now they got rid of our RP clothing. We've been kicked and kicked and kicked, and that's why I like to show the solidarity with the roleplay community, because we are role players at our heart. Everything we do has some level of roleplay tied to it. I mean, hell, it's why we have a wiki dedicated to roleplay. I just fear that if the game goes forward as is, and let's just say, let's put it this way. Even if we got the Knights and the Baronies, even if we got Lioness 2.0, even if we got all of those things that are supposed to come on their roadmap, I'm not convinced that that is enough, because I talked with, again, hundreds of people, both in and out of my community. The PvP is not the main draw to this game. It's the roleplay, it's the city building, it's the PvE, it's the dungeons. We want raids, we want world bosses, it's the crafting, it's the building up and living in a world that is vast with great people. And I see the PvP stuff not really adding all that much to that experience, especially if you're going to be forced to go into PvP to get exclusive resources. Because now you're talking about big PvP clans locking down. Did I just say going into RP? I meant going into PvP. They're going to go into PvP and just lock down those resources and you're never going to see them. And they argue, oh, well, you can trade for them. What's the incentive for us to trade those resources off to make our enemies? Why would we deal arms to our enemies, right? Doesn't make much sense. Watson says a couple of other super important things is a permission system. Yeah, and that's on the roadmap. They said permission system. They need to let us have full control over who can do things. Absolutely, I agree 100%. Same thing with loot. The loot permissions are just not there yet. They need to stop the trees and stuff coming through our builds. I agree as well. There's a lot of little things like that, but the fundamental systems that make an MMO are missing. I mean, hell, we can only have 80 people on screen at any given time right now. That's not even an MMO. MMO from MMO.com is saying that it's 500 people on screen, the capacity to have 500 on screen at once. A raid party system? Absolutely, Watson. I agree. So that was our main topic for today. If there's anything else you guys want to chat about, I'm all ears, but $7, $11, and $19 for our plot tokens with the premium. People are pissed. Go look on the Steam boards. 25 pages, 348 comments, and more thumbs down than thumbs up. It has 0 positive rating. Mostly negative reviews. 42 people paid Steam points to put a jester face on their post. 6 people paid Steam tokens to put the laughy face. I mean, it's looking very abysmal. Blimpy says, small MMO, small M intentional. I think it's really going to hurt the future of PAX Day. Fidril says, it's well known that I love PAX. An observation, though, is that it seems like the game was handled like Justice League movie change of producers midway through. PAX feels like it's been redirected. I would agree, yeah. Their original vision was so exciting. There was so much, you could feel the passion, right? I'm there with you, Fidril. I love PAX Day as well. I mean, hell, I wouldn't have built a whole community and entire RP stuff and gone through all the effort, the countless hours of sleepless nights of me maintaining and moderating and working with the clan and building up stuff and streaming if I didn't love PAX. I love PAX too. I'm just calling the stuff as it is, you know? I'm just being honest with everybody. And those are my concerns. But yeah, it definitely feels like it got redirected, doesn't it? John says, I have like 1 million Steam tokens. I never spend any. What is the worst emote I can buy? Shrug. That's a good question. Yeah, I got a ton of tokens as well. I mean, but some of these comments are really bad. Like some people say, hopefully no one gives these rats even $1 for this scam. These are not my words. I'm reading these off the page. This game is becoming Mortal Online 3. Bye-bye PAX Day. Cash grab. Some people say a good case for stop killing games. This is one of the greediest monetizations I've ever seen. Good luck, guys. I'm out. These are just what other people are saying. I'm just reading their comments. $20 a month for 4 plots. Yeah, death to this game, and I hope the company goes under. I want my money back. Monthly plot token. Then they put hearts U. We all know what that means. Anyway, the game have 724-hour peak, and we're down to 500 now. So add subscription and wait and see. The game died for me. Congratulations. This game is a sham. Quote, you can take your founder's bonus and make it disappear after a month? Well, thanks, but no. I'm just reading these pages. I'll never pay for a game that forces players into PvP for pick rare resources. I want my equipment back. It was stolen by a player. Monthly payment for plots. XD, it's a joke. Please give my money back, my 100 euros. This fall? Question mark. Very nice. I don't know if it's sarcastic or not. Sometime I see a patch notes with 0 likes, I read it, and then I understand. If that game survives for at least a year, I would be surprised, XD. It's a scam. I didn't know before I bought it the game would be subscription based. That's kind of him not really doing his research, because they did say they would be subscription based in some way. We just didn't really know what that meant. I mean, I'm just reading these people's comments. I think only the Euro heart are playing. No one is online on my server. I bought 4 plots. Why do I need to keep buying them? Is it too late for a refund? I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And the vast, vast majority of comments are that way. So I'm just reading their comments and giving you guys a small glimpse into the things that other people are saying as well. Now, I know there's others out there who are going to say that, hey, this is all just, you're being so negative. I'm really not. I want to see the game succeed. And that's why I want to sit down with the devs and find a way where we can build up that good faith again. Maybe they can be more transparent. Maybe there's some, vital piece of information we need to know that's leading them down this bad path. I don't know. Diesel says, is it too much to ask for a simple MMO game that works and has basic functions, but now you want to charge us again for an incomplete game? I say we band together and nobody buys anything. Well, I mean, I don't really think that that's necessary. I think that if people want to listen, I'm never going to advocate for anyone to let anyone else shit on their parade. I want everyone to have fun in a game if they really truly enjoy it. So if that to some people means playing this game, then I want them to enjoy that. I'm not going to have a pact of, no one buy this game, no one pay for this stuff, right? I want people to enjoy a game if they want to enjoy it, if they can enjoy it. But on the other hand, I don't think anyone should be pressured into continuing to support it or anything like that if they don't think that it's worth it, right? I know it's kind of a divisive thing to say, but really, if you think about it, I want people to have fun in any capacity. It's why I always advocate for private servers. I think that private servers allow you to play the way that you want to, on a public server, on a private server, anything in between, right? I want people to have fun. That's what I want at the end of the day. So I don't think it's really necessary for anybody to band together and say they're not going to buy anything, but we're definitely going to have a rough road in the future. I'm going to be here with you guys every step of the way. We're going to be talking. Let me grab a little drink of water. My throat's dry. 1 second. We're going to be talking about how the game is. Keep an eye on the channel. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because we're going to be talking about all of the updates and everything we get. Blimpy, thank you for the Tangia. That cat's so cute. We're going to be talking about all the updates that's coming. Anytime I get information, I bring it directly to you guys. And we also talk about it over on the official CBU Discord. John says, I'm pretty happy with it so far, but you can only mine so much. Well, that's the point, right, John? The things that you have to do there, they're fun. They're good stuff, right? There's things to do, especially for a new player. You have a couple months of entertainment there, which will be made a little harder and longer by the XP reduction for not having a subscription, but it's right now a grind, like for the sake of a grind. You really don't have much to show for. I mean, and I have to wait guild dungeon trips to make an improvement in my stats. Well, and that's the thing, too. There's really no reason for us to run dungeons other than for camaraderie and fun, because there's no bosses. They hardly spawn. Blimpy says, I think you're being pragmatic, not negative. Well, I appreciate that. I try to just tell the truth, That's what I do at the end of the day. Some people are going to see that as negative. Some people are going to see it as sometimes overly positive. John says, well, I wasted $500 on Pantheon and I don't have the slightest interest in playing. They had a Kickstarter like 5 years ago. Yeah, I think there's a lot of games that are like that. And I think that's one of the main problems in the gaming industry nowadays is we pay before we get the product, not after we get the product. And then there's really no incentive for them to deliver a good product anymore. They've already made their money, right? They've already got all their money. Athena says, I fear nearly vacant servers, but it's still a beautiful game. It's definitely a beautiful game. 100%. It's definitely a beautiful game. You got to give it that. Here's our chessboard. We built a chessboard. We can play Wizard's Chess. We're going to play PAX Chess here. We're going to be hosting a statue building competition here soon. We're going to host the Festival of Realms very soon here in Bloodhaven. I would like to still go out and find the 7 stone feathers of the apocalypse to continue our adventures together in roleplay. There's a lot of things we still have to do in PAX Day, but the way I see it right now is PAX Day was the catalyst that brought us all together, and PAX Day is a platform right now. PAX Day is a platform for us to convey our roleplay stories and things like that. It's much less of a game and more of a platform for a lot of role players currently. And that's sad to see, because just look around. The world is beautiful. It has had its performance issues. And a game like Dune, Dune runs a lot better, and it looks just as good, or arguably close, as good. It uses the same engine, but it runs so much smoother. And it doesn't have the same fuzziness. I don't know. PAX Day has like a fuzziness to it. It's very strange. I'm not sure what's up with that, though. House of Mining says RP in many games, Star Citizen as well. Yeah, Star Citizen, we're still waiting for that to become a lot more stable. But we are building up our roster and our lore and our backstories and stuff for Star Citizen as well, because Star Citizen is looking to be a really good game once they actually finally release it. But long road for that probably still too. I've been following them for like a million years, I think since the very beginning, 2013 or something crazy like that with their Kickstarter. But yeah, you can role play anywhere, right? So that's why I say that this is the platform for it. Blimpy says I definitely need to give Star Citizen a try again. It's been a while. It's had its ups and downs. It's definitely had its ups and downs. I can't wait to try Star Citizen with this new chair. I need to get my joysticks mounted on this thing. I need to get joysticks first of all. I got to save up and get me some good Virpils. Virpils are the greatest joysticks, guys. They're freaking awesome. There's other good brands out there, but Virpils are just next level joysticks. I need to get me some dual sticks or maybe a throttle and a switch panel or something. Get it all mounted up on this chair. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. But that's all the news, guys. That's what I really wanted to talk about, and it seems like you guys, for the most part, are on the same page with me. We're going to have many more streams coming up talking about these same things. As anything progresses, we're going to be talking about it here on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. If you really want to get some more behind-the-scenes stuff and chat with us, I'm always on Discord hanging out with people playing different games and stuff like that, so come on over to the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord server. You can get over there by typing !Discord in chat right now on YouTube. If you guys would like to support my work, you can click that join button. You know what? I'm going to give away... Oh, I'll keep trying to hit the alt button, or the Windows key. There we go. We'll hold them. I'll do them next stream. I'll give away another 5 next stream, another 5 gifted memberships. But I really appreciate you guys for continuing to support my work. I know it's been a little bleak for PAX Day, and I know that's what brought us all here in the first place. But we're having fun. We can tell our stories anywhere. Doesn't matter the platform. I always say PAX Day could crash and burn tomorrow and our community will live on. We'll be on to the next game, having fun, telling our stories, role-playing. PAX Day is a really great platform for roleplay, though. I gotta say. It's been fun. It really has been. And it's going to continue to be fun up till the very last bitter moment. Whenever that is, however it ends, I don't know. But Mainframe... one last time, if you're hearing this, send me a message. I'd really like to chat with you guys. I'd love to sit down and do an interview. I think we could bring a lot of good faith back to the community and help people to understand maybe what's going on behind the scenes a little more. If you guys have anything else that you want to chat about, send me a message over on Discord. If you guys want to join the Cheeky Buggers United, become a verified member, you can put an app in on our website. Once you're verified, you get access to all of our private servers, to any of our clans, guilds, orgs, and any game. You get to choose what you want to partake in. We have all kinds of stuff going on. We're playing all different kinds of games. We still have our V Rising server up. Yep, right there. Head over to www.cheekybugger.net. If you want to check out our lore on our wiki page, that's wiki.cheekybugger.net or !wiki in chat. But I love sitting down and talking with you guys. I feel like we got a lot off our chest today. We talked about a lot of things that are hard to talk about at times. Fingers crossed for PAX Day. Fingers crossed for Mainframe. We're really rooting for you. Work with us on this, Mainframe. We're your community. We're trying to help in any way we can by giving constructive criticism. There have been problems, but we need transparency. I really, really love hearing from you guys. Thanks for chatting with me here today. I'm going to go get some food, stretch my legs, enjoy the beautiful weather outside while we still have it. And then I'm going to be hopping over on Discord with everybody. We're pushing 2 hours on this stream just talking purely about monetization. So that tells you something, right? Absidary, huge shout out to you, brother. Thanks for the chair. Massive shout out to all of my channel members. You guys are the reason why I'm able to keep doing these streams and keep running the community. I'm here for the long haul. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for PAX Day. Thank you, Athena. Thank you, Ange. Appreciate you guys. John says, I've improved. I can kill 1.5 dire wolves out of 2. Nice, man. If anybody ever needs any help with anything, we're in Apollo. We're in the US East Apollo server, and we are in the province of Caries, and we're located in Bronnier, and we're in Bloodhaven. Right up there is the Petra Day. If anybody needs help with anything, please let us know. We have a bounty board on our Discord where we can fulfill contracts if you guys want to role play. We got a lot of role play coming up. I'm just tying up some loose ends here on the city, finalizing a couple things, and then we're going to be hosting the Festival of Realms. You're not going to want to miss that, so make sure you stay tuned for the announcement for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have, hopefully, a maze. We're going to have archery. We're going to have the Fabled Forage. We're going to have all kinds of fun things for people to partake in. And, you know, it's just fun to get together and have it's like a fall fest or something, you know? That's what it's going to be about. So I hope to see you guys. Come on over and visit Bloodhaven whenever you like. We call it the city that never sleeps because there's almost always someone online, but people's interest has been waning. It has been lighter and lighter on the PAX Day side. But hopefully Mainframe can pull through. I guess we'll see. Mainframe, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you guys. Cat Died says, later guys, you should visit our small town in Dolavan at some point. Yeah, I'll have to make it a point to get out there, Cat Died. Great to see you, man. Thanks for the convo, and thank you, man. Thanks for contributing to it. I really appreciate you. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to chat with me. It's some of my favorite time is just spent right here with you guys chatting about anything, really. Beauty of PAX Day, the future of PAX Day, other games even, too. I'm really looking forward to spooky season. As you know, it's my favorite time of year when all the bugs die off and return back to hell where they belong, down with the Zebians underground and the multi-layers of hell. The air turns crisp and cool, and Halloween is just around the corner. I love spooky season. It's a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I am going to go stretch my legs and get some food. If you have anything that you want to talk about, come on over to the PAX Day channel over on the Cheeky Buggers United Community Discord. I will see you guys over there. Flippy cat knock. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, Tangi. I appreciate you. And thank you guys for the super chats. You make the wheels keep on spinning. But until I see you guys in the next one, bye for now.